You're listening to Behind the Bulldogs, brought to you by Ferris State Athletics.
Off the left side, to the end zone! Touchdown, Bulldogs!
If I'm even having like a bad day on the course or something, I just look down at it and just feel like thankful that I'm able to be out there.
Making sure that we're like where our feet are and we're not thinking about outside distractions.
Welcome back to another great edition of Behind the Bulldogs. Brandon Worth, Tatum Outlaw joining you here on the show. We got a great episode for you here today. We're talking to Cheer and Stunt for the second time here this year as they look to close out the season with a very fun home game this weekend.
Yeah, it'll be cool to see what they've got to say towards the end of their season. We had them on right before their first game or competition, and now we're having them on right before the last one. So it'll be cool to see how things have changed and how things are going.
From the beginning to the end.
Exactly.
It's like we planned this.
Yeah.
I mean, kind of.
It was a little bit of a coincidence, but
yeah, it worked out really well. But before we get to that interview, you guys can stick around for that. We'll get you into the Ferris State Sports Slate, what happened this past week, and we'll go basically in calendar order. We'll start on April 3rd. Softball claims a big sweep over Roosevelt, 13-0 and 10-2. Dynamic bats certainly were in play for the Bulldogs and Coach Schumann's squad. They also got a split against Wisconsin Parkside the following day there in Kenosha, which was actually, they were playing in Lewis, actually in Romeoville, against the Parkside Rangers because they had flooding in Kenosha, and apparently their field was not ready. But all the way, still an away game, and they got a split, 15-5 win, a 5-3 loss. And right now, Coach Schumann and that team, they're playing really well. They're really playing overall, I think, good offensively. There are some games where they've kind of let the bat slip a little bit, but overall, playing really well. And also, CC Bell throwing a no-hitter. Very impressive stuff.
Yeah, and I think those girls have been on the road a lot too, which is kind of hard when you have that long string of just like being on the road and playing on other people's fields. So, not to jump ahead, but this weekend they'll be home. So hopefully they can get some advantage there.
For sure. We'll talk about that at the end part of the show. Women's and men's tennis, they were home and they got the sweep over Michigan Tech. 5-2 for the women, 6-1 for the men's. Shout out to Coach Doran and that squad for very good performances overall, as well as track and field was concluding invites there in Michigan State and East Lansing. Very good overall results, just highlighting a few. Whitney Farrell, runner-up in the 5K. She continues to run very, very well. Jocelyn Shattuck, 4th overall in the 800. Lizzie Haynes, 6th in the 400. The 4x4 group, I believe, finished in the top 4. On the men's side, Lucas Sefferlin was the runner-up in the 400 meters. Ben Knuth, 4th in the 5K. Trevor Smith, 5th in the 200. And as well, Carson Giassi placing 6th in the long jump. So overall, good to have them back at East Lansing. That was a meet that's kind of bounced in and off of the schedule just based on the timing of the meet and obviously competitive nature of it. But good to see the Bulldogs competing really well in Spartan land down in East Lansing.
Yeah, that was a lot of names you said there.
That was a lot of names.
That was a lot of success, it sounds like.
A lot of success indeed. And we hope it continues, right? They're going to have some big meets upcoming. We'll talk about that later on. We mentioned Cheer and Stunt. First ever appearance in the GLVC Championships. Finishing 1-2 overall in record terms. And obviously both of the losses coming to a really good Drury squad. But overall, this team played really, really well this year. And just to be in the spot of, hey, they're nationally ranked. They have a chance for nationals in the first inaugural season. How impressive is that? Kudos to them, the coaching staff. This has been a record-breaking year for a record-setting program.
For sure, and I think it shows how we do things here because I think it's so rare that you see like a new program and they are successful their first year. I think more often than not, you see new programs that are like not very good their first year, just like in any school. So I just think it's so special, seriously one of a kind for them to have such a successful first season, and it just makes me really excited to keep up with them looking forward.
Absolutely. Many of them getting all conference honors in the GLVC as well. Looking at women's golf, they finished 3rd in the NC4K Classic in Ohio, so congratulations to them on a good performance. We'll see if they can continue this going into this next week. Men's golf as well, 2nd overall in the Ken Partridge Invitational, and right now we're going to get golf on the show. I know you guys are waiting for it. Trust me, we are going to get them on the show, but they're continuing some great overall results and looking for that consistency to really buckle down going into GLIACs when you're going to have the multi-day event. But overall, this team has talent to compete again and get to that championship matches on Sunday.
For sure, and we are working to get golf on, so
they just won't stay home. That's the problem. They're never here.
They're busy away winning stuff. Okay.
Yes, but we're going to make it work. We promise you guys. But also to report as well, we had some great success yesterday as we're recording doing this, recording this on Thursday in April 9th. But One Day for Dogs, record breaker, and not just like, smirking right over the line. I mean, this was a high jump. You cleared it, scissor kick all the way over. It was easy peasy. I mean, $480,000 to the university. A lot of it going towards the indoor, a lot of it going towards the facilities as well as the teams. I mean, that's just great to see the Bulldogs support, not only from fans, but also from community members as well.
Yeah, I mean, I love One Day for Dogs as well, because I think like you get to see like it really puts things into perspective, like why you're doing what you're doing. And it reminds you to give back to your community, because a lot of these people that are donating, like, yes, a lot of it is family members, but a lot of it is just people that have fallen in love with like our program and our teams and stuff like that. So seeing them be so willing to give towards a team that they just love to keep up with, it just like reminds you why you're here. It grounds you, and it just makes you want to play for the community. I love One Day for Dogs, and it was just so cool to see how successful it was.
100%. And nothing, of course, would be done without competition when it comes to Bulldogs. When you have teams competing against teams to raise more dollars.
Yeah, let's make everything a competition.
Yeah, I heard volleyball was getting really competitive as well, trying to get the first couple donors and things like that. So it was a great effort. You can find more information, ferris.edu for more. Also, quick shout out as well, Emma Gillard, GLIAC Player of the Week in softball. I mean, she absolutely raked in the box this last week offensively. And then Bulldog Hockey's Caden Brown and John Lundy are heading to the pros in the ECHL. So congratulations to them on making their professional contracts signed moving forward. A lot of great stuff.
Yeah, a lot of great stuff.
Yeah.
It's time for an interview.
It is time for an interview. So without further ado, we send you to the interview room with Bulldog Cheer and Stunt. Now joining us here in the interview room, we have two very special guests here from Cheer and Stunt. Joining us here on the show, we have Jordin and Gabby. Ladies, welcome to the show.
Hi.
What is the very much excitement going into this home meet this season? And that's not just necessarily a home competition, but it's also for a spectacular cause. Could you guys talk about it and how excited you are?
Yeah, the cheer that we're having, the game that we're having is for Stunt for a Cause for breast cancer. And it's just like it's honest, not like a laid back. We're still gonna go into it very strong, but just to wrap up the season, nothing, you guys didn't go towards anything, but really excited to have like friends and family show up for us.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited. It's going to be nice to be home. I think we haven't really had a lot of opportunities to compete here in front of like our peers, staff, and families, because everything's been super away since the very beginning of our season. So I'm really excited for that. And I think the cause is amazing. And it's just going to be a nice way to wrap up the season.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you guys had the GLVC conference. Was it like a tournament like last week? Can you just tell us about how that was?
Yeah.
And it was kind of your guys' first taste at like a postseason thing for your first season. So just tell us about how that experience was for you guys.
I mean, it was cool for me. I have never, obviously we were still like learning the sport. So that was my first kind of like stunt championship conference sort of thing. I think it went well. It went as expected. Our first game, we didn't play amazing, but we did a really good job redeeming ourselves in the end, which was, I think, is super important. And we talk a lot about it at practice, just not snowballing. If you don't perform your best, being able to pick it back up and get out there and do better. So I'm really proud of us.
Yeah, for sure.
I think that we did what we knew. There really wasn't much to it. Like the first game obviously didn't go as planned. Then we had another second game, which is like an 8-round game. 8-round game. So we did that, and it was just like basically half of a regular game. And then our last one was pretty strong. But I was happy with what we did and like how far we've just really came this season.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. In the first season, I mean, your guys' success to follow nationally ranked team, being on the doorstep of nationals in a first year. That's so impressive. And I got to ask this. Did you guys ever think, first days of practice, first days of camp, that you would reach that point?
No.
It's a crazy
Not
thing.
At first.
Yeah,
no.
yeah. What was kind of the point where you guys really started to feel it, believe it, based on the way that you guys were competing and practicing? Like, what was the moment in the season when you guys realized that? Maybe it was a meet in particular.
I feel like it was more at practice when we kind of had this like come to Jesus during our sideline season. We were first learning our stunt routines, and then that's when we were starting to learn harder stunts, and our like full ups were starting to hit with our stunts, and we were like, oh, okay, like we're actually really good. Like we can be really good at this. So we just started working together more. we just increased so much in such a little time. We were a little rocky in the beginning of sideline season, and I was like, oh gosh.
Yeah.
But then we all, we came together, we talked, and we're like, okay, let's just be better. And then that's what we did.
Cool.
For sure. Jordin, how about you?
I feel like in the beginning of the season, it was just like we're all getting used to each other. We all came from like such different backgrounds of cheer, what levels of cheer, how long we used to. So I feel like us like all coming together and just learning new routines and new techniques that with each other, it just like it takes a long time to like grow that chemistry. So I feel like towards like maybe like a little after like Christmas break, I feel like we all just really came together, locked in for like our stunt season, and like
for sure.
Yeah.
What is your guys' background with cheer and stunt and like how you got here?
Okay.
I assume you guys cheered. You did competitive cheer growing up.
Cheerleading,
But
yeah.
I cheered for Brighton from when I was like 6 until my senior year of high school. So for me, it was just I was honestly nervous coming here because I've never done stunt. I've always done just like girls competitive cheer. So like the style is just different. It was definitely an adjustment. I was honestly just nervous because I was like, what if I don't like this style of cheer as much as I liked it in high school because I was so passionate about it.
Yeah.
And I ended up coming here and loving it. So I'm really grateful for that. But
It helps when you have a successful season too.
yeah,
Of course.
it does.
Of course. Yeah. Jordan, how about you?
I started cheer when I was in 7th grade. It was just through the school MHSAA.
Yes. Yeah, that crazy
Sorry.
acronym. Yep.
We're with you.
Yeah, that. So we did that. I do sideline too, and it was really fun. But honestly, I did not see myself cheering in college or like in school in general. It wasn't until like my coach just reached out and asking if I wanted to like join the team, and I was very interested at first, but I was also like very confused because I'm like, what even is stunt? Like it's a very new thing to me. So yeah, I'm just glad I really did find to enjoy it.
What's your guys' like favorite part of stunt? Like, are you enjoying like the tumbling aspect, the stunt aspect, the jumps? I used to do competitive cheer. My mom has her own gym. She actually knows your coach. So
Oh my God.
yeah, so I like hearing how you guys do stuff. Yeah.
That's fun. What was that?
Your favorite like thing about stunt? Like, are you more like a tumbler? Do you like doing the stunts? Like doing the jumps?
My favorite thing is definitely the stunts.
Yeah. Are you a flyer?
Yes.
Okay.
You get to fly through the air. That's pretty cool. Yeah.
Definitely the stunts. I think it's so fun to just like learn new sequences and just like continue to gain and build new skills because like there's so many more things like we can learn. But yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. Gabby, how about you?
I would say, I don't know. I feel like I love tumbling and stunting. I feel like there's like no better feeling than like getting a new skill. Like when you're like tumbling and you're like falling. And then you land it one day and you're like, oh my God. Like that's just like the best feeling ever. But I also love stunting in college because we get to like do fun stunts that weren't legal in high school. So it's like, just like try the new cool fun stuff. Like it's been very all around, like a well-rounded new experience for me.
That's cool.
That is very cool. Now, looking at the other side of student athlete, what are you guys studying here at Ferris, and what do you hope that becomes a job later in life?
Right now I'm studying for social work. I hope to be a CPS worker.
Oh, very cool. Very
Love
cool.
that.
Yeah. Gabby,
Right
how about
now, I'm pre-med and I hope to be a dermatologist.
Ooh.
you? Wow. Okay. Was there an inspiration why that you chose that career path of choice?
Kind of just like the aspect of like a therapist talking to someone and just like it being kids.
Yeah.
Kids.
Of course.
Sure.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I've always just been like a skincare makeup sort of person. And I always looked into being like an esthetician or something like that. And then I was like, it's just a little too basic for me. And I wanted to get in something a little deeper. And then like I noticed like, I don't know, I never really struggled with pimples or anything like that growing up, but my friends would always be like, oh, what do you use for this and that and this and that? And I just like thought it was cool.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I've had a lot of like, my family's big on golfing. So we've had a lot of like, you're constantly in the sun and all that. So we've had like skin cancer, stuff like that. And my mom always had bad acne. So it was just like being able to help people with stuff like that. And I'm big on confidence and loving how you look. So it's just being able to like give that to other people and really know what I'm doing and prescribe them something that's going to help them. I don't know. It just makes me feel good.
Yeah. And I think when you're doing something you're really passionate about, it makes it not like it makes everything a little bit more worth it, because that's you guys are both like in really difficult areas, and like I think it definitely makes it worth it when you're passionate about it.
Mm-hmm.
My next question, a bit of a pivot, but what is your guys's like superstitions that you have? It could be like the night before, it could be morning of, it could be like during a competition. Like, what is anything that you catch yourself doing?
Could be food, could be specific hairstyle, those kind of things.
Okay, I
Socks
would say,
or something. I don't know.
Yeah, hairstyles for sure. I feel like we switch up our hairstyles every time, but I always have my specific friend Bria braid my hair.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Now it's like a.
There's always like a team braider. So
Yes.
Yeah, for sure.
Yes, she's so good at braiding. So I make sure that I get my braids on my hair and make sure like my hair is like locked in place. And it's not moving.
Yeah, for sure.
For me, it's really just like remembering that I can trust my body. I think something that is so specific to cheer is like when you're competing, like you do weird things you don't normally do. Like your tumbling is a little higher than usual, maybe a little bouncier because you have all this like adrenaline.
Yeah.
And it's like I can even like feel it through my hands. So it's just like before we go on for every single game, before any routine gets called that I go on, I'm just like, take a deep breath. Trust your body, like you can do it. I just like have to tell myself that, because if I let myself get anxious, it really does like it takes over.
for sure. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, for sure. Outside of competition, right? You guys have time to kick back. You might not be competing in the weekend. What are the go-to hobbies outside of cheerleading and stunt?
Usually I go home if we're not here. I only live like an hour away, so like the drive's really not bad.
Okay.
So I usually go home, just see family, have a good dinner, go see my boyfriend, maybe pick up a shift at work, and then I head back.
Yeah.
All right. That's fair. That's fair.
I really do like the same thing. I try to catch up on sleep as much as possible, especially because when I'm here, we have to wake up so early for practice. So it's like, I feel like when I'm up doing late homework, I'm just looking at the clock like, oh my God, I have to be up in 6 hours. Oh my God, I have to be up in 4 hours. It's just like, okay. But I really just try to like go home, reset, sleep. I love hot yoga. There's this place in Brighton and it's called like The Space, and they do hot yoga, but it's more like yoga in the beginning to stretch you out, and then they do like Pilates sort of thing, and they do this like frozen rag and massage your head. Then like it's the best. I love
I'm
it.
gonna have to try that.
Yeah.
I've heard two people
fun.
have talked to me about hot yoga in the past week, so I think it's a sign now for me.
It's amazing. I feel so good after. So that is one of my like reset my body things sort of I just like to do. But yeah.
Cool. What's been like the biggest like I don't know, like shock or like thing that's like caught you off guard or by surprise since being like in the athletic department now?
Probably just like how much we're just like taken care of, like our like our funds for our team and stuff, like just not having to worry about food or make meals. Honestly, it's like a big weight off like anyone's shoulder
for sure.
Just having everything to us.
Yeah.
For me, I really appreciate our assistant coaches. I kind of wasn't sure, like, joining a new team, the coaching staff was like my first thing, like, okay, what is that going to be like? And something I really appreciate is like they let our head coach do their thing, but our assistant coaches are very like specific in what they help with. Like our coach Ellie is very good with like JTs, like our tumbling and everything. And our coach Amber is really good at pyramids and stuff. So it's like our team is very diversified in talent. So like that's one thing that really surprised me is just like having coaches that are so amazing at what they do and being a first year program. I was like, I don't know what staff they're going to be able to get or hire.
Right.
So just to have coaches that have like won nationals in the sport that we're trying to, like, they really know what they're doing. That really surprised me, and it's pushed us a lot for sure.
Yeah, that's good to hear. And I feel like for like a bunch of college athletes, like their coaches are making or breaking the experience for them.
Yeah.
So that's really good to hear.
Yeah, for sure. Well, ladies, thank you so much for joining us on the show. One last question, though, before you go. We ask everybody on the show, what's your favorite thing about being here at Ferris State and being a Bulldog?
My favorite thing is...
It's a tough question. It's a loaded question. Yeah. It's a loaded question. We've heard, community. We've heard, the competitiveness. We've heard, small town feel, those kind of things so far. That's a pretty common one.
I like the small town feel for sure. I liked being able to walk like 5 minutes to my class.
Yeah.
And just getting to dinner. Yeah, that's definitely Pete.
I always say it's like cozy.
Yeah, for sure.
Very cozy.
I agree. That is definitely what I would say too. It's nice to be able to like have your teammates and then you're like, okay, I'm gonna walk over to your dorm in 10 minutes and let's go to the quad. Like it's like it's very like easy to get to and from. You get to know people. You see the same people walking to classes at certain times, and you like smile at each other because you're like, oh, I see you every day. Hi. Like, it's just, it's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Jordin, Gabby, thank you so much for joining us on the show, and good luck this weekend in your final competition.
Thank you.
Big thanks to Jordin and Gabby for joining us on the show. Great to have them on, and it's great that we can finish their season, be able to watch them right here in our own backyard.
Yeah, I think it was just, I kind of said it earlier, but it was just cool to see like how they're feeling about things towards the end of their season. And it was cool to hear from some of the girls at the beginning of the season. And I'm just glad that they've had such a great experience for their first season here, because I think a lot of the girls went in to everything with an open mind and maybe with like their guard up a little bit. So it's just cool to see how successful they are. And yeah.
For sure. They're going to be competing on Sunday here in the sports complex. So obviously be on the lookout for details there. We'll start with the slate on Friday, April 10th. Women's and men's tennis will be at home against Roosevelt. The Lakers women start at 10. Men start at 2. That'll be over just down the road at the Racket Center. Saturday, April 11th, we're going to have a whole bunch of home competition as well for softball. They will be competing around 1 o'clock and at 3 o'clock against the Lakers of Grand Valley State. That should be a good rivalry game here at home. There's also, I believe, a tailgate event that's going on during or in between games of some sort. I've heard the rumors through the mill. I think it's being put on by Sports Careers, so be on the lookout for that. You can follow along on their Instagram to find more. Track and field will be now at Central Michigan. They go from Michigan State to Central Michigan this weekend. They're in Mount Pleasant. They'll be competing there. Women's tennis and men's tennis will be facing off against Purdue Northwest, 10 a.m. for the women, 2 o'clock for the men, rather. And then on Sunday, April 12th, we'll obviously have Stunt here at home against Quincy, and I believe Central Michigan also on the schedule, so good luck to them. Women's golf will be headed to UMSL in St. Louis, Missouri in their tournament, and then softball will be at home against the Pride of Purdue Northwest. So a whole loaded slate. It'll continue on into Monday as well with more women's golf action, and then Wednesday, men's golf, GLIAC Championships. Here we go in Augusta. So good luck to the golfing squad as they're going to be heading to the playoffs here very, very soon.
Full of action this weekend.
Just full of it.
Make sure you guys go out and support.
If you're bored, you're doing it wrong. We got stuff for you. You just got to go.
It's like, and the weather's nice too. Knock on wood. I hope I didn't jinx that.
Knock on every piece of wood on this table.
And support some sports.
Absolutely. That's going to conclude our episode here Behind the Bulldogs. Stay tuned for another episode and a great interview next week. Tatum, any last words?
Go Bulldogs.
That's great 2 words. Let's see you later, everybody.